Today I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to make your room cozy and aesthetic. I've moved around a lot, so these are just kind of like tips that I apply to every place I've moved to, no matter how temporary the space was. I feel like I do value how my space is, and it's very reflective of how I'm doing in life. I've also lived in a variety of different places, so you don't need this exact setup. I've lived in dorms, I've lived in basement suites, I've also lived in very small rooms, so these are just kind of, they're also going to be just like tips on how to make your place more comfortable and just like easy to live in. So I'm going to include some like organization tips as well, and how to like, especially if you live in a small room, like how to max out your storage space, just things like that. So let's get into it. I have my notes. So the first thing is bedding. Exhibit A. I've always loved having a lot of pillows and blankets on my bed. I've actually been made fun of for having a lot of pillows on my bed before, so just don't listen to the haters. My opinion is the more the better. I also recommend putting your bed against like the wall or like the window. I have like a screen on my window so like bugs don't get in. I personally like to have my bed against the wall rather than having it in the middle. If you can, you don't have to. I just like it because I don't know, I feel like it kind of makes me feel a bit more protected, and it also creates more space in my room overall. And this way I get to put pillows like kind of like around the bed so that it's just like even more protected, and just I don't know, I just feel protected, you know? And all of my bedding is from Amazon. I'll link it in my bio. Once again, you don't need these things exactly to make it cozy. I just mean in general, like if you can, just invest in good bedding. If you live in a dorm, what I did when I lived in dorms was I got a mattress topper because I know sometimes the beds in dorms aren't the most comfortable. Not only does it enhance your sleeping experience, I also think it created the illusion that my bed was bigger than it was. I also had like 50 pillows on it, so that might have also helped. For sheets, I think invest in some good sheets. I personally always opt for satin or silk sheets. It's been good for my hair, it's been good for my skin. I like the feeling of like being on a slip and slide, but if that's not your thing, that's also fine. Like you know, you can't go wrong with cotton. Cotton's always a good time. Okay, number 2 is lighting. This can really make or break your room. Like you can have the nicest setup, but if you have bad lighting, it's ruined. And vice versa. Like I feel like if you don't have the best setup but you have good lighting, I think it cancels out. And I'm not even just saying like natural lighting. Like I didn't always have all this going on. When I lived in a basement suite, like my view was the ground, and so I didn't really have any like natural light coming in. So what kind of saved me from going insane in that room was just like little lamps, warm lighting, fairy lights, LED lights. I prefer having my LED lights like behind things, so I put them like behind my bed or like behind my TV because I like how it gives that glow. I don't like the look of it on like directly on a wall. You risk like ruining the wall because it'll take the paint off. I use smart bulbs usually so I can adjust the lighting. I love my fairy lights. I've had fairy lights every place that I've ever lived in. I just feel like it's such a cute addition to your room. I've had fairy lights in my room ever since I was like in middle school, so that's been a constant thing in my life and in every room that I've ever been in. I don't care how old I get. I'm literally about to be 25 and I still have fairy lights in my room. I never use the overhead light. I hate the overhead light. I just don't like to feel like I'm in a hospital or a classroom. Number 3 is candles. Again, this is just my opinion. I love candles. I've always loved candles. I used to even make them in high school because I love them so much. That's also been a very constant thing in my life. Like I know not everyone likes candles, so this isn't like absolutely necessary, but I do think it really elevates your space and makes it so cozy and just comfortable and warm. It's like having a mini fireplace. I also love getting like seasonal ones for fall and like Christmas. I love candles, so I think this is a big one for me. If you don't like fire, you can also invest in like a candle warmer. I did that recently. I absolutely love it. Your candles also last longer. Other forms of aromatherapy also work. I have a diffuser that I really like. I also really like having incense in my room, Palo Santo, sage. I take a lot of pride in the way my room smells. Every time someone comes into my room, I get comments on how it smells really good and fresh and clean. So that is definitely a big one. Number 4, curtains. I didn't realize its value until like I got a little bit older, but curtains really elevate your space. I used to not have curtains up here and my mom put them up when I was younger, And I was like, this just ruined everything. They don't even have to be super expensive. They don't even have to be like super useful. I mean, the curtains I have up here aren't super useful. They're kind of just like sheer curtains. Like they literally don't do anything, but I just feel like for the aesthetic and for the vibe, I really like them. I feel like it really brings my room together. Number 5, carpets and rugs. I have a carpeted floor and I still have a carpet on it. I know that's not everyone's thing. It's also another constant in my life. Carpets have always been such a staple in my house. I'm Persian, so obviously like my entire house floor is covered in Persian carpets. I don't have a Persian carpet in my room. This is the carpet that I've had for like a few years now. I've brought it to like different places that I've lived. Again, like curtains, I think it just adds that warmth to your room and just brings your room together. Number 6 is adding your own personal touch. Just like decorate, you know, put out anything that's like valuable or like sentimental to you. My favorite things to have out there are like my books, candles, my vision board, flowers, lamps, perfume. I also have this map that I really like. I'm also like a seasonal decorator. I like decorating for like fall, Christmas. I decorated a little bit for like spring and summer, just like the vibe, but I did go all out for Christmas. I also really like getting like seasonal scents for like fall and Christmas. And then number 7, this is kind of like an additional thing, but something I've really grown to like love over the last like year, and I wish I got sooner, is getting a projector. I love my projector so much. I love watching movies on it. I love watching shows on it. It's just so cozy and it's like your own personal like movie theater. I also really like using it for like a reading ambiance. I saw someone on TikTok do that and I thought that was like the best idea ever, especially in the winter months, in the cold, dark winter months when it gets like dark at like 4 p.m. I was like, okay, on the bright side, literally, I can use my projector earlier in the day. If I could redo anything about my room, is to not get a TV and just get a projector. And then this last tip is more for like organization and like storage space. So what's really helped me is getting these organizers for my drawers. It's so much easier to navigate where everything is, and I don't have as much clutter anymore. Another thing I did when I was in a smaller room, I got a bed that had drawers under it that just like opened up so much more space for me because I didn't have a lot of closet space at the time. Another hack that I did was I used these boxes to store clothes in those as well. They have a lot of space in them, so I was able to fit a lot of clothes. It's super affordable and doesn't take up too much space in your closet. Those are all my tips. Thank you so much for watching. I'll link all of my products in my bio, but I hope this helps and I hope you liked this video and that it was good. So yeah, see you guys next time. Thank you.